Tamam Dinankam. So it's the 26th of March, and this is the second part Ramayanam. So let's do the Mangala Charanam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhotume Bho Rama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnam Iti. So Dinanka, I think Anka is, I think, masculine word. So Shat Vimshati Tamaha Dinanka, 26th of March. Okay, so let us Ramayanam choose the last shloka of the Bala Ramayanam, Charama Shloka, Shatatama Shloka, 100 shloka. So let's read it first. It's a famous verse. If you want to get gist of Ramayanam, you got the Bala Ramayanam. If you want gist of Bala Ramayanam, this is the one shloka you can chant. You can chant this one shloka from Ramayanam, which is the kind of the Phalashruti, the sense of the, not the sense. Phalashruti means what you get by reading this Ramayanam. So it is the Utsaha Jananartham, to create interest in Ramayanam, Protsahanartham, to inspire you to read Ramayanam, for inspiration. Patan Vijo Vagrishabattamiyat, Syat Kshatriyo Bhumipatittamiyat, Vanijjana Panya Phalattamiyat, Janascha Shudropi Mahattamiyat. One more time. Patan Vijo Vagrishabattamiyat, Syat Kshatriyo Bhumipatittamiyat, Vanijjana Panya Phalattamiyat, Janascha Shudropi Mahattamiyat. Patan Vijo Vagrishavattamiyat, Syat Kshatriyo Bhumipatittamiyat, Vanijjana Panya Phalattamiyat, Janascha Shudropi Mahattamiyat. Interesting shloka. It is, so let's do the, this is Panya Phalattam, not Punya Phalattam, it's Panya Phalattam. It's not a very common word, Panya. You look at it today, what Panya means. So to put the Cheda Phalatsavi, go ahead.
Pathan Dvijaha Vagrishabhatvam Iyat Syat Kshatriyaha Bhumipatitvam Iyat
very good.
Vanijjanaha Panyaphalatvam
Good.
Iyat Janaha Cha Shudraha Api Mahatvam Iyat.
Let's start them in different way. Let's see, Balramji has joined us. Balramji, you there? Balramji, if you're there, I was thinking of doing maybe a translation first, and then see if we can do. Let's see, when he comes on, we'll try that. Because what's another tact of doing, if you want to read Ramayanam quickly, you read it fast, what you can do is that read the translation first, and then then you can go in detail into what you need to get. It's no shame in that. You can try to get a fair idea of what's going on. And then as you build more confidence, you can get more vocabulary. You can then try to read the Mula Partha, first translation second. It's okay. Get some practice and then do that. So, okay, let's invite, okay, well, while Balramji is coming, let's do the meanings. Ravi, go ahead. So Patan is what?
Patan is Shatranta.
Yes. This is my, once we sorry to interrupt you, but in Gita, my famous shloka in Gita is in chapter 5. Chapter 5. Very good. Chapter, with a string of these. Pratamanta, Pullinga Pratamanta, Shatru Shabdaha. Shatru, which is this Pashyan, Shrinvan, Spishan, Jigran, Nashnan, Gachan, Sapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visujan, Grishnan, Nunmishan, Nimishan, Napi. So Pashyan, Shrinvan, Spishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Sapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visujan, Grishnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api. So these are all declined as Prathama ekvachanam pullinge and Shatrant. What is this Shatra? Shatra is not, go ahead.
That is Latas Shatrushanachau Aprathama Samanadhikarane.
Very good. These are what's called present participles. Present participles in English means that in lat lakaraha, if you don't want, then they are not declined when it's not conjugated. So you can say pathati. Pathati means he cooks. We can also say pathan means cooking. Reading. Pathati means he reads. Of course, pachati means he cooks. Then pathan is reading, pachan is cooking. As Ravi said, let us shatrishana chava prathama samadhikarane. Now there's a small complication. What is the complication, Ravi, is that?
So the prathama vibhakti is not commonly used.
Prathama vibhakti has been used here in the Ramayanam right now. We use the vibhakti. We have used the word pathan in prathama vibhakti. The Panini says aprathama samadhikarane. So how do you justify, get around that?
Is it anyebhyo pi drishyante?
So this sutram this is a lesson for Ravi for today. One of the ways they do it is, look at the vyakhyanam of Latas Shatrashana Samadhikarana, is that when anuvritti of lat was coming down, Panini said lat again. So lat iti vartamane, punar lat grahanam, kvachit pratama samadhikarane api. So that's what it means. So even though lat was anuvritti was coming down, Panini said lat again, lat iti vartamane, punar lat grahanam, kvachit pratama samadhikarane api. It can also come pratama samadhikarane. In fact, this is what, not to go into more detail, but the problem we have is that in the Sutram 3.2.124, Panini said this should not be used pratama samadhikarane. In the Ramayanam right now, we do have it pratama samadhikarane. So we have to find a way to do samanadam of that, and not to spend too much time on Vyakaranam in this class, but it says, lat iti vartamane punalat grahanam adhika vachanartham. To extend this, kvachit pratama samadhikarane api bhavati sanbrahmanaha. Either do that, Ravi, or we have to find one of the meanings down here. Lakshana hetavoho kriyayaha. Maybe you can fit in that one. So that's another way to do it. There are only two ways to do it, is to just take that vyakhyanam asmakam sharanam asmin vishaye, or you can take it as lakshan or hetu. So indicate it, characterized by that. So shayanaha bhunjate mlechaha. As you can use 3. You can go to 3.2.126. This is mainly for Ravi today. Others may not be interested in these details, but since this is an interesting topic, so if you can go to 3.2.126, Ravi, and try that. It says, lakshanaha shayanaha bhunjate yavanaha. The Greeks, I think the Greeks and Romans, they eat while sleeping. So characterized by that, so that is the characteristic way in which they eat. They're lying down, they eat. Lying down, the Greeks and Romans eat. Yavana, I think, was the Greeks, I guess. I don't know. So they eat while lying down. Tishtanto anushasati ganakaha. While standing, characteristically, somebody teaches. And so on. And hetav arjayan vasati. So for the sake of earning money, he stays somewhere. So this is another way where prathama can be used. Prathama can be used. Look at lakshan or hetu, Ravi. That's two ways out. So either you try this, or if it doesn't fit here, then you have to use a vyakhyanam. You can say shayanaha bhunjate yavanaha arjayan vasati. To earn money, he lives in some place. So can we use that here? Can we use pathan dvijaha? No. So a brahmana who characteristically reads, no. So and one who there should be another action with that, another action with that, like shayanaha yavanaha bhunjate. So they eat while lying down. We don't really have that. And then for the sake of reading now, so I think we have to unfortunately use that vyakhyanam. So pathan is here. Let's see, Balramji is back or not. Balramji, you there?
Namaste, Sri. Can you hear me?
Let's try a new tactic today. We're going to have some fun. So let's try. Can you look at the translation and try to make a good guess? And then that we can, attack it that way, make it, less grammar and more kind of fun, and see if we can, identify the problem areas and then focus on that. So you ask us what you need, and we'll try to provide you with some answers. So reading.
Patan.
Patan. So that's straightforward. You don't need much grammar for that. Right? But you now to give you some more details. The patan with the pratipadikam patat is declined prathama ekvachanam pullinge. It's an adjective. It's an adjective to whom? It's the next word.
Brahmana.
Brahmana is dvijaha. Dvijaha brahmana. So this patan is always an adjective. Remember, it's an adjective. It's qualifying somebody. It's qualifying somebody who is singular, somebody who is masculine. So it will be dvijaha. Patan dvijaha. Okay, we'll come to the word dvijaha in a little bit more time. Bids fair to attain.
Iyat.
Iyat. That's a good guess. You got that also. Iyat. This was a difficult one because that's the verb. Iyat.
Yeah,
Iyat.
Exactly.
That's not a very common verb. That's a difficult verb. The any guess on dhatu and stuff on. What's the dhatu in here?
Each.
It's in gatau.
Okay.
E, basically E, ati. Yasamame pandava. So janmakarma chame divyam comes in Gita. Janmakarma chame divyam evanyo vichitatvataha. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. He comes to me. He goes to me. I think chapter 4, I think. Janma karma chame divyam evanyo vechitatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sojana. Here it is, ati. No ati. Punarjanma na ati. He doesn't go to rebirth. He goes to me. This dhatu ati, e. So iyat. What kind of usage could this be, you think? Thanks, Ravi. Ravi thinks Yavana is Muslim, Ravi. Anyway, okay. What do you think, what kind of usage could this be, Balamji? What do you think it is?
I don't understand the question.
Is it present tense? Is it a past tense? Is it
I would have guessed it as past tense, but looking at the meaning, it's more like present tense.
There are 10 tenses and moods. There are 10 of them, okay? So which is lat is present tense, lit is a past tense, lot is not really in time. It is like an order or request, or let us do something. That is lot. Before that, sorry, I skipped some. Lut and lut are future tenses. So far what you have lut present tense, lit past tense, lut future. These are mainly time. And then thank you, Radha. Radha is correct. She has bhuyat. So Radha says bhuyat. It's correct, Radha. Bhuyat is correct. This is what is called as, and we'll come to it. So lut present tense, lit is a kind of past, like vacha. Lut and lut are two future tenses. All these are time-based. Now lot is a mood, imperative mood, which means that gacha bhavan, not bhavan, tvam gacha, you go, or hey pahi, hey Bhagavan mam pahi, protect me. This is like an order, request or order. Just not what we have here either. So these are the 5 lakars which we two as an it. Lut, lit, lut, lot. They have two as an it. This is the order in which they are normally dealt with in grammar. There's no real order in Ashtadhyayi, but in the grammar. Now comes lung, the past tense. That's also not what we have here.
And what's the difference between lut and lut?
Yeah, lut and lut is that, in fact, here I'll give you in the sutra wise. In what happens is that there's a very short in section Ashtadhyayi, which is talking about future tense. Very short section. Bhavishyati. And here it says lut sheshe, like a samanya. Lut is like a, not we are going too many details, like a, what they call, I don't like the English term, but it's simple future tense. And then, and lut sadva, anadyatane lut. Anadyatane means a distant future is lut. Anadyatane lut. So this is something, so bhavitam, you shall be in the future. Anadyatane. So lut can technically only be used in something which is not of today, not the near future. That is lut. And lut is in sheshe. then we use a lot of fish for meanings. Now, while we are there, in fact, okay, let's leave it at that because we're not going to spend a lot of time in the class. But to give you a gist of it, if you want to look at some homework, in 3.2, Panini starts a Bhute Adhikara in 3.284. In Bhute, in the past tense, Bhute. He goes, Panini goes past, present, future. So Bhute, of course, you'll expect to find, a sutram for the lit, for the lit, for the lung, and for the lung, and they are there. So which Panini first says, default is lung, the default past tense lung. Then Panini says anadhyatane lung. If it's past tense not of today, use lung. And then parokshe lit. If it's not of today and the action has not been experienced by the speaker, then use lit, like a remote past. Once upon a time is lit. So far we don't have any of these over here. Now comes the ling, which is called a potential mood. That's what we have here. It's a potential mood. Is that he may, he might, he bids fair. That bids fair is that he might, he could, he ought, he should, he stands a good chance too. Just the meaning. And that comes in two varieties. One is the vidhiling, which is much, much, much more common, which is not the one we have here. Then we have ashidling, like a wish or a blessing. A wish or a blessing. So the author blesses or wishes the reader to obtain these things. So the speaker is saying that dirgha ashman bhuyaha. So means I hope I bless you to be long-lived. So bhuyat, may it be so. This is like a wish or a blessing. So that's what it is here. This iyat. Of course, to finish off the list, so we have lung past tense, vidhiling, ashidling, two ling varieties. Then we have lung, another past tense. Then we have rung, which is very uncommon, which is a conditional mode. And let's not talk about that. That's very uncommon. So anyway, this form iyat, which you're going to give to Ravi afterwards, is he's going to derive for us from the dhatu in gatau, means he is blessed to go, or the author wishes that he goes to this state, vagrishavattam. These are nothing which we talked about in I think earlier classes. In this language, you go to a particular mental state or ability. In Gita, klebyam masmagama partha. Don't go to impotency. You'll never say in English. You'll never say it like that. That's why you should never translate from English to something like that, word for word. It's a very dangerous thing. You say, like, don't be afraid. So, so bhayam masma gamaha. Don't go to fear. Bhayam masma gamaha. Don't be lazy. Alasyam masma gamaha. Don't be lazy. Don't be foolish. Maujjam masma gamaha. Don't go to foolishness. So this is the thing. So now he is being blessed or being wished, or he would, he should, he stands a good chance to go to this thing now. So what is that is coming next now? Eminence in eloquence. What is that?
Vagrishabhatvam.
Rishabhattam. Look at this tvam. This tvam is the famous sutra of Panini, Prasya Bhavastvatalav. Thatness, the state of that. The state of that, like it says, Saundaryam, Alasyam, Karpanyam, then Laguta, Lagutvam, Gurutvam, Mahatvam, Tattvam means thatness. Lagutvam means lightness. So does Laguta, Gurutvam, heaviness, Mahatvam means importance. So this, when you see this Tvam, it's a Tadhita from Vagrishava. The state of being, Rishabha is a bull. So this is also used there in the idiomatically, Shreshtatvam. So Rishabha is Shrestha. Like the bull is a lordly kind of animal, right? He's a leader. He's on top of the list. So Vagrishavattam. So in the matter of the Vakshu. So now what you can also do, you can also look at the commentaries now. What do they have to say? Let's see. Vagrishavattam. Brahmanaha, Vagshava is Shabda Brahma Paragatvam. So Paragaha. Paragaha means one who has gone to the other side, expert, one who is fully well versed. It says that Shabda Brahma Paragatvam. Shabda Brahma means like in the Vedas. So Vagrishavatvam. One who is able to master speech. one gives Vagshabatvam Patan Dvijaha Yadi. So Vachi means in the matter of speech, Vachi Saptami. Shraishtyam Veda Vedanga Paragatvam Iyat Prapnuyat. So he stands a good chance. So by reading this Ramayanam, in fact, by reading this Bala Ramayanam itself, you stand a good chance of getting Veda Vedanga Paragatvam Iyat, means Vachi Shraishtyam. So they have taken it as a Saptami Tattvashaha. Rishabhattam is Shraishtyam. So Vachi Shraishtyam means eminence is the Rishabhattam. Eloquence, in eloquence. Look at how they translate also. They translate exactly what the commentary has given. So Vachi, eloquence, in Shraishtyam, eminence. So they also translate also looking at the commentary also. Now the tough one for you, Balramji. What is the word if?
Syat.
If, yeah, that is Syat. Syat is if. So Syat normally means what? Syat, in fact, we just had a class today. We are talking about these Pratirupakaha.
Oh.
Pratirupakaha. Syat means is actually a verbal form. It may be, he, she, it may be, would be. Dhatu us. Us becomes Syat. Means he may be, he, she,
Okay.
a third person, singular. But here what they say is that Syat iti etad avyayam yadyarthe. So this is an avyayam meaning yadi. Look at that now. So we just talked in the beginning in the class. This is a good fitting practice for today. We just talked in the other class before we came is that we're talking about these words like we talked about asti being an avyayam. We talked about aham being an avyayam. So these are the words which are, maybe a word like sthane comes in Gita. That also could be. So these words which mimic an upasarga or vibhakti, means a decline or a conjugated form. And when they're required to take an avyayam, when they're required to take some operations or some meanings, they require avyayatvam, they regard an avyayam. So now this fits in very well now. So we do have a situation right here. This word syat has been taken as an avyayam. Now, what I tell you, if it's an avyayam, you should find avyaya kosha. To be very honest with you, it's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch, but there's no choice. Why is there no choice? Because you already have the verb iyat in here. Iyat is already there. You know what, I thought we can take it like this, So a Brahmana reading this, a Brahmana stands a good chance of obtaining excellence in speech. And syat, this will surely come to be. Make a separate sentence. Idam avashyam syat. You supply something. So it shall be. So that was my translation, but that's not the way that people are taking it. So they are saying they're taking syat in avyayam. Yadi brahmanaha, yadi dvijaha, tarhi vagshabastvam iyat. So if he is a dvijaha, then he'll get this. Yadi kshatriyaha, then the next part. So that's, no, let me try and see if in the avyaya kosha is syat, okay, it is there. Syat is anekanta pakshantara sambhavana or sambhavana. Okay, so I guess it has been used. So sambhavana is possibility if he is one. So syat. Okay, all right. So this has been accepted as an avyayam. Listed it is in here. So we can use that. Yeah, look at what he gives that. He gives syat tinganta pratirupakaha. So tinganta pratirupaka, it mimics. It looks like a tingantam. Like the verb syat means idam syat. It may be so, it would be so, but it is used in avyayam, means if. Okay, so that's a new one for us to learn today, that the tingantam form syat, which is a vidhiling form of the dhatu us, third person singular, that is used in avyayam in one of these sentences. Okay, so if is, that's, I thought the difficult part of the shloka was that the if is syat. But anyway, you got it, you already got that. If he is a kshatriyaha, that's straightforward, right?
Kshatriyaha.
Kshatriyaha. Again, the same verb is repeated. She is sure to attain.
Iyat.
Iyat. Lordship is this one, the same thing.
Patitvam.
Patitvam. Pati means husband, also means like the Lord.
Yeah.
Prabhutvam, Swamitvam, Patitvam, similar. So Prabhutvam means lordship. So like, also Prabhutvam, Swamitvam, Patitvam, okay? Over the earth is a compound.
Bhumi.
So bhumo patitvam, so the lordship over the earth, or bhumehe patitvam, probably better. Bhumehe patitvam, lordship of the earth. So a man belonging to the mercantile community.
Vanik Janaha.
So Janaha is man. Then belonging to this is a Karmadhara compound. Karmadhara is an adjective
Actually,
noun.
another Jana is coming in the end. So.
That's for Shudra.
Oh, okay.
So this goes with this one, this is with that one. So
Okay.
so Vanik Janaha is sure to secure again the iyat.
Yad.
Then profit is
Phalam.
phalam, I think, in trade.
Panya.
The panya is dhatu pan. Pan is like to barter, to stake, to put
Okay.
a condition. So pan is like inventory. It's like inventory that you have, business items. So the things which you buy in order to sell later on. So now he has his inventory in his shop. So by reading Ramayanam, this Ramayanam, he's sure to sell them at a very good price. So panya palattam. So panya, in fact, so panya palattam, if you look at the commentary, I'll go to Sutram again, but without going to Sutram, I'll look at the commentary, is that panyaihi kraya dravyaihi sadhyam. So mulad dviguna triguna vriddhi adi rupam phalam. So panyaihi equals kraya dravyaihi sadhyam. So these are items which are, for buying and selling. So that with that mulad dviguna triguna vriddhi adi rupam. He won't sell at double the price, 3 times the price. So yes. So that is panya palattam. What other one say? Panya palattam. Let me give you a second. Okay. Pachan vanik janaha yadi panya palattam ya panam is mulyam. Tad arhati di panyam. We'll come to that sutra in a second. Panyam kriya vikriyarham. So kriya vikriyarham, something which is fit for buying and selling, transacting. Vastu. So kriya vikrayarham vastu is inventory, like business items. Tadeva phalam. He's saying that itself is the phalam. So maybe his inventory goes up, I guess. He gets more items to buy. Another way of looking. It's a compound. So you can say it is the profit from that. That itself is the profit for him, that he gets, that his business basically goes up. That's the way it is. Okay. We'll come to details in a second. So panya, let's finish this one. Panya pratam iyat Shudraha. So let's see, where is the api? Where's the api, you think? Maybe the and?
And is cha.
And is cha. Where is the api? There's no api. Api tanam vyakshatam.
Even should be there, right? Even a man.
There. I would say even would have been nice, right? It would be nice to have even, yeah. I think anyway even is not there. So Shudra class Shudropi can hope to attain iyat, superiority,
Iyat. Mahatvam.
importance. This is the Vyakhyanam class. That's what I'm saying. Now you know enough Vyakaranam to make a good guess. Now what questions do you have for us? Let me do it that way. We change the class around now. What do you need information on? Now let's give me one thing I can give you is the Panyam. So Panini has a special rule for this for Panyam. First of all, you should know the Dhatu Pan. You could think, always expand your knowledge of Dhatus. Please remember that. Keep on expanding knowledge of Dhatu, like Dhatu Pat, Dhatu Jan, Dhatu Vach became Vak, then Dhatu In Gato, we told you about that. Dhatu As, which is technically in here. Then the Dhatu Bhu is then Bhumi, again Dhatu In Gato. Then Dhatu Yaj is then Vanik, Dhatu Yaj. No, sorry, take it back. No. Vanik is not. It's straight from Vanik. Then the Jan is here again. Yeah, there's no Dhatu. I don't think Yaj. No, Yaj is not here. No, not Yaj. Then Dhatu Pan is here. Dhatu Phal. Phal is to fructify. Is also to burst. So then Iyat, again Jan is here. Dhatu. So these are various Dhatus are there. Let's look at Dhatu Pan. So you should expand these. Make a note. You got the meaning now. You got the meaning. So now we can go a little bit deeper and spend a few minutes to try to get some more out of it, So that's the thing. If you can do this one, Ramayanam, Balaram, you can do very well.
Okay.
So you can, because you keep on reading and you'll be amazed after some time. So pun is to deal with, to transact, to barter, to business, purchase, to bargain, to bet or to stake on gambling, to put a stake, to put a condition, I think also, to praise, to honor. I think if any of you start chant the Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, you chant any time? So, Kameshwara Premaratna Mani Pratipanastani. So, Kameshwara Premaratna Mani Pratipanastani. So, her breast, her Pratipana is a barter, exchange for something, Pratipanastani. So, Premaratna, so of Kameshwara. So this comes in Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. Very early it comes. It comes very early. Pratipana. Pratipana is like, I think maybe an exchange or barter. Pratipanastani. So it comes in that. So Panya can mean something which is for sale, items for sale. In fact, look at the word Apana is a market. Apana. You can use some. You can look at around for some interesting words. With the word, I think Apana means market. Apana. So it is Apan, a market or a shop. Like like Panya Vastu means item for sale. Panya Stri, unfortunately, is one who goes around every year. Panya is a woman for sale. Panya, so Panya Nari, so that's also has been used. So now the word Panya itself, there's a special rule for this. It is that what is called a potential participle, which is fit for that. It is so yogyam. It's fit for doing transaction, and that one is 31101, which is okay. Let's look at that for a second. 31101. So this is the commentator gives that. The commentator gives the sutram for Panyam. So Panyam, he says that Mulya Panya. So Pano Dyutadishu Utsrishte Bhrutau Mulye Dhane Apicha. So Avadya Panya Ityadina. Avadya Panya Ityadi Panater Yat Pratyanto Nipato Va. So these two words are going to Panini as ready-made forms. Avadya and Panya. Avadya and Panya is this saying, is that in these meanings. So Panitavyam, which is fit to be transacted, it is it is given in these meanings. Avadya Panya. So Panya is Nipatyate, Panitavyam che, Panya Kambalaha. So it's a blanket thing which can be which is bought or sold. Okay, now Ravi, take over. Do you want to do this? So 31101, maybe you can intro the document, our Ramayanam document. Okay, so 31101. So Panya, I'll just give the number here. So Panya is 31101. So Ravi, get ready for join the form Iyat. Iyat. Okay, let's start, Ravi. Where do you want to start from?
So
Always in Gatau. So let's take in Gatau. And always the first 4 steps are the same. Bring the Lakara, which is the Ashir Ling. Remove the It letters, because remove the ending It letters and then Ikara. We skip those steps now and bring the La. After La to Tip plus G, bring the appropriate Pratyaya from 3478. In this case, it is Tip. So in plus Tip. So we start with Ashir Ling. Maybe I'll put it like that. So let's skip that. Let's put in plus Tip. It'll take too much time. In plus Tip. So 3478. After doing the preliminary steps, we can also apply Itashcha, right? So once you apply 3478, check the remainder of 3478 and then do any operation which are based on that Lakaraha. That's the Nitya Karyanis. Don't go anywhere from 3478 until you finish the remaining of 34, which is the Lakar Sambandhi Adeshaha. Lakar Sambandhi Adeshaha. And the one here is Itashcha. If the Lakara has no as an It, then the ending Ikara is lost. 34100. Okay, Ravi, now let's take it from there. So
now we get Yasut. Agama.
Yasut Prasna Padeshu Udakto Nicha. So Yasut Prasna Padeshu Udakto Nicha. Also in 3-4, by the way. Also in 3-4. So 3-4 is Yasut Prasna Padeshu Udakto Nicha. I think it's coming in Yasut Prasna Padeshu Udakto Nicha. 34103. But then Kidashishi, next one. Kidashishi, in Ashirling it's Kid. So really you want 34104, right? Kidashishi. Becomes Kid. So it becomes 34104. We'll now get Yasut. Remove the it letters, only Yas will remain. Yas will remain. So E, Yas. After Anubandha Lopaha, Yas. Okay, so 34104. What's the next step, Ravi?
Now scores Sanyogadyorantecha.
Not so far. Let's finish all the Sapai Sapta
Sapadi. Okay. Then Akrut Sarvadhatukayor Dirghaha.
But this Sapada is not really correct. Sapada Sapta Jhai. Sapada Sapta Jhai is the correct term. Sapada Sapta Jhai. Okay. What's the next one, Ravi?
Akrut Sarvadhatukayor Dirghaha.
Very good. So one thing is that, how about one more? Suttithoho, how about that?
Oh, Suttithoho.
Suttithoho also. This is Sut Agama comes here. Suttithoho. Is that in this ling when you have the takara or taka, when you have takara or taka, it takes a Sut Agama. The ta or tha takes a Sut Agama. I'm sorry about all the details. I'm sorry if you're not interested in this, but it's interesting form, and Ravi has learned things in the Prakaranam, so we definitely want to learn from him. So 34107 Suttithoho is that lingityeva. Linga sa tathoho sut agama bhavati. So you get 34107, which is now going to come here and going to make it in yasata. Yasata. So 34107 comes Suttithoho. So now finally, Ravi, you're done with 34. Now we're finally done with this. Okay, so you have first means all these operations here, Ravi. Before you do anything else, finish these guys. Then only go outside. So 34107. Okay, now what's the next one?
Now Dirghaha by Akrut Sarvadhatukayor Dirghaha.
Very good. Akrut Sarvadhatukayor, like in this, let's see what Ravi is saying is that. Which one is that, Ravi? 7425. 7425. So what this says is that if you have a yakara, it's not a krit yakara, not a participle, because this is not a participle form, and then this comes from the doesn't have sanya of sarvadhatukam. Ting shit sarvadhatukam, ardhatukam sheshaha, linga shishi. Linga shishi, ling pratyaha gets the sanya of ardhatukam. Normally you have ting shit sarvadhatukam. Moment the pratyaya tip came, it get the sanya of sarvadhatukam. Ting shit sarvadhatukam. But then comes ardhatukam shesha litya linga shishi. So ling pratyaya has a sanya of ardhatukam. That allows us to use 7425 akrut sarvadhatukayoho dirghaha. Akrut sarvadhatukayoho dirghaha. Now what sutram defines the krut pratyaya? So we have to make sure it's not a krut pratyaya. We have to make sure akrut. Akrut we have to make sure of that. Because krut the thing, krud a thing. So ting pratyaya will not get the krut sanya. Krud a thing, krud a thing, krud a thing. Which means that a krut pratyaya will be any pratyaya from 3191 onwards, but a thing doesn't have the thing, so not the tiptasji. So tiptasji will not get the krut sanya, even though they're defined after 3191, krud a thing. So we'll use 3193, a thing it says in there. Then we'll also use Ravi 34117, 34116 I should say, and then use 7425. Now we're getting close to the final answer now. So now we're getting there. So it becomes E, Yas, Sa, Ta. So this was an important step here. So we use the Krit Sanya is not there for the pratyaya tip because a thing, Krud a thing. Then 34116 Linga Shishi gives the sanya of Ardhadhatukam. And then finally, on basis of those two, we can use 7425, which is Akrit Sarvadhatuko Dirghaha. Now, this Sutram 7425 should be well known to you. In the passive forms. Like Dhatu Shru becomes Shruyate. Dhatu Stu becomes Stuyate. So this Sutram is not a very strange Sutram to you. Should not be. Because it becomes like, Yak Pratyaya when it comes, it also gets same operations. Like we get Shru is to hear, it is heard, becomes Shruyate. Stu is to praise, Stuyate. So even though we're using 7425 in a different context, you should know 7425 already, because there are very, very common forms. So 25 used. There are also Pratyaya Yak, which is used by 3167. Is also not a Krut Pratyaya, because it comes before 3193, and also because of ardhadhatukam sheshaha, that the pratyaya yak also has the sanya of ardhadhatukam, does not have the krut sanya. These are from 3193. So this 7425 should not be very strange to you. Okay, so E, Ya, and then finally Ravi, go for it. Final answer, home.
And skos sanyogad cha.
Skos sanyogadyorante cha. Before that, what sutram was praptam? Is sanyogantasya lopaha. Sanyogant, so be a little bit careful here now. What Ravi is saying is that for the final step, we have to look at first the sanyogantasya lopaha. So in this language, if any padam, because this is suptingantam padam, first of all, suptingantam padam, this is a padasanya. If any padam ends in a sanyoga, that ending letter of sanyoga should drop. So by that rule, the takara should drop here. Takara is a lopa prapyate, anishta lopaha. So but then there is a sutram which comes ko sanyoga. No, this should not be strange to you at all. We have been using these. These we have been using. So this you should know now. Ko sanyogadyorante cha. One more thing you want to do is try to use the rules that you know, and then introduce the one that you maybe extra ones. Of course, this year we've not done the ashilling form, so it's not going to be. We're going to start doing verbs in a couple of classes now. So, but we have been using sanyogantasya lopaha, and we have been using ko sanyogadyorante cha. So now here, so Ravi, which sakara goes away first? I mean, it's too much for this class, but it's good for Ravi. Ravi, which sakara goes first?
I think the one closest to takara.
Okay, why not this one? Of course, this is one place where the great grammarian, Bhattu Dikshita has said in one place, not in Siddhanta Kaumudi, but in the Prodha Manorama, or Shabda Kaustubha, one of these places. I think Shabda Kaustubha, it says, maybe Prodha Manorama, one of these two places. He said that this sakara goes first of yas. What's the problem with that? Because ko sanyogadyorante cha, then even if a jal letter follows, if you have a sanyoga, which has the sakara or kakara as the first member, which we do have, sa, ta, but the sanyoga should be followed by a jal or should be padante, then instead of sanyogantasya lopaha, you get lopaha of this prior one. Now, why not? Okay, Ravi, this is the argument, Ravi, is that if you take this sakara lopa first, you have to say this is taking place because of what? Because of a jal follows, right? The takara is jal, right, Ravi? So jali parataha. But then the problem is that we bypassed sanyogantasya lopaha only because an apavada was coming. Now we cannot say jali parataha now because sanyogantasya lopaha was bypassed on the basis of apavada coming. We're in Tripadi section now. So purvatra siddham. Sanyogantasya lopaha will only give way to an apavada only. Apavada should be only ante now, not jali parataha. So Bhattoji says in one place that remove this sakara first, earlier one, and then remove, because this is jali parataha. Remove this one, this is going to be padante. But he's been criticized for that because this sakara should be removed first. It's also padante. This becomes padante. Anyway, too much for this class right now. So bottom line is that we have to use this ko sanyo gadyo rante cha 2 times, but there's a controversy here. Which sakara goes first? Let me leave it at that. It's not important for this class right now, so we leave it. But it is use it 2 times. Ko sanyoga dyorante cha. If you have a sanyoga, with the first member is the sakara or the kakara, and that sanyoga is either followed by jal letter or padante, then that sakara kakara goes become iyat. So one more time, quick revision is the in gatau, and being the pratyaya tip. Tiptasji, itashcha removes the ending ikaraha because the lakara had known as an it. Itashcha removes the ikaraha. Then we get the yasut agamaha, kidashishi. By the way, it's also kit pratyaya. We forgot to do that because now we should get the guna of in, shouldn't we?
Yeah, ashishi lingo yasut kit.
Kit. So because of we have to also mention the kiniticha. We should mention that. So yasut is the kit. Innish, the Gunanisha, the Kinitisha, and then becomes Inyasta by the Suttitoho, Suttagamaha, of course, Adindu Takitau. Then this one was the 7425, which is the Dirgha Vidhanam, and finally Skos Sanyogadirandich. If you don't understand all of this, don't worry about it. You're going to get this in detail later on. So this completes Ramayana for us. It was a big day. So finally we completed this. So we'll be coming back to this one many, many times. So even though we finished today, this is the Ramayanam, but we will come back to this many, many times. So don't lose touch with this. Keep on chanting. We learned a lot of new things. We have learned a lot of new things. We don't want to lose them. Of course, we'll give examples to you also in the daily examples, as many as we can, and also we'll try to come back and make reference to many things that we have learned. We have learned many things over here. But anyway, one more time. Patan vijo vagrishavattamiyat syat kshatriyo bhumi patittamiyat vanijjana panya phalattamiyat janascha shudropi mahattamiyat iti arshe. Iti ends the quotation, means includes the whole adhyaya. Arshe means rishi sambandhi, the work of a rishi. Let's bring Balramji over again. Let me try. Okay, let's try this. Balram, you try this one. Thus, what is thus? Thus would be, I think, iti.
And
Thus probably iti.
yeah.
So thus ends iti. I think thus ends is iti. End quote. Thus end quote iti. What is arshe is this one? The
Work of work.
of the rishi. Rishi idam arsham. Rishi idam. So it belongs to rishi pratya an. You get the adi vriddhi become uran raparaha become rishi plus an become arsha vidya gurukulam, arsha bodha gurukulam, arshamaha. So arsham rishi sambandhi arsha prayogaha rishehe idam. This is very common pratyaya called an, which is a default pratyaya which runs for a long time. Why is the an so common? The an is so common because of the fact that prag divyato an sets the an as a default pratyaya from 4183 to 442 to 442. In that adhikaraha, you have the sutram sheshe. So in all miscellaneous meanings, this these pratyas can be used. So the an is set as the default from 4183 to 442. We include sheshe. In that. So this one you can take for taschedam, maybe it's like 43, maybe 120, maybe taschedam. So rishi plus an do the adi vriddhi by 72117. And then uran raparaha. Make it r. What's the final step, Ravi? Ravi, final step for me, please give me final step. Okay, let me put so rishe. Again, this is not a mathematics. This is an art form. Taditas are an art form. So this may not be the only way to justify usage, but I think it will work for us. So rishi plus the pratyaya nyas belongs to a rishi. Work of a rishi. Pratyaya an. So what I used the sutram which is prag divyaton. Then use taschedam I used. And finally, we're going to do the supluk, which we learned today. No, we didn't learn today, I'm sorry. Kritadita samasascha pratipadika sanya supodhati pratipadika yoho nyas luk. And then now we also going to do, while Ravi is thinking, give Ravi some time to think, Ravi. He may already know the answer, but anyway, we can do this one by get the pratipadika sanya by kritadita samasascha. Again, within the pratipadika, sup will not stay. So supo dhatu pratipadika yoho. Then do the adi vriddhi, make it arshi. So Ravi, what we have for you now is we have right now our sheet. Of course, halantyam, the na will go. So I use the taditeshvacham adehe, uran raparaha. Now Ravi, how can you help me out, Ravi?
Now yasyeti cha.
Very good. Yachibham, yasyeti cha. The ending ikara of arshi will go because the angam has the bhasanya, and when the angam has the bhasanya and it ends in an e varna or a varna followed by either tadhita or a ikaraha, that angam takes lopaha alontyasya. So sutram is yasyeti cha. E varnantasya avarnantasya bhasanyakasya angasya lopo bhavati tadhite ikare cha pare. Very, very important sutram. Good, Ravi, you know that. Very good. So we get the form arsha. So arsha. So this we use yachibham, 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 and then use yasyeti cha. 148. Okay. Anyway, rishi sambandhi arsha. Arsha prayoga rishya hedam arsha. Okay. Now the next thing, Balaramji, is that he says Srimad Ramayane is what in
What is Ramayana?
the glorious Ramayana.
Glorious Srimad Ramayana.
Srimad. Again, Srimad Pratyah. Valmiki.
Of Valmiki.
Now again here, Ravi, any chance? Sutram for me?
It's one of those.
Valmiki Pratipadikam. So what I want to do is, Balaramji asked the question to you. What he can ask you is the following, Ravi, is that we do know Valmiki, of course. In fact, it's another interesting form, by the way, Valmiki. Form of Valmika. I think Valmika is an anthill. He's an anthill, and he was, I think, born from the, while doing tapas, he came from the anthill. There's a story like that, right? So he has a story, yes. Rama. So he came from there. So Valmika. So now from Valmika became Valmiki. So he is born, and then on top of that, you put one more pratyay to make it Valmiki. So this just goes to show that you can put a tadita pratyay on top of another one, like Bhagavata Puranam. So Bhaga became Bhagavat. From Bhagavat you got Bhagavatam. So now this is the case of a tadita on top of tadita. So I think Valmika, that's an anthill. An anthill. And Valmiki came from Valmika, because probably that's so first of all we have to find the form Valmiki from this sutram, I think Atai sutram. Atai, it is Atai, like Dasharati Rama, Dasharati, Ravani, Indrajit Ravani, Dasharati, Saumadat Gita, Saumadat Tistataivacha, Saumadatti. So basically if you have a Atai, in the Tasyapatyam Atai, if you have a Pradipatyam ending in a short or like Dasharatha, Valmika, so you have like, Ravana, then you put the E has to be used, means his offspring of that, Dasharathi, Ramaha. So you can make it Indrajit, Ravanihi, Valmikihi. So that we use first. That also you have to use the Yasyeti cha, because first we use Valmika plus 1, so 4195. So we start from Valmika and then Valmika. So interesting forms, Valmika plus use, I'm going to skip some form because really it should be Tasya Patyam. So this should be really Pratyaya. Nyas should be put over here. Then the Pratyaya E should be put over here. E, because you have to get Tasya Patyam. I'm sorry, E. This is 4195. And we will skip some steps, give the answer directly Valmiki. Valmiki means he is born from that. He's born from the anthill. So he is Valmiki. So Valmiki. So what I did was, of course, the supluk as before, supodharpadvidika yoho. Then I did the Adi Vriddhi with the same sutram, 7211, Tatyeshu Acham Adehe. In your Tadita form, which has either the cha varga panchama or ta varga panchama or occurs in it, it does the Adi Vriddhi. And then also we used Yasyeti to remove the Akara of Valmika. This Akara here is removed by the same two rules, which is the Yachibham Yasyeti cha. Yachibham Yasyeti cha. Okay. Now, Ravi, from Valmiki to Valmiki, how do you...
So the Chapratyaya should come, Satish.
Very good, very good. So I'm glad you know that. So Ravi has one clue for us, which is that the clue that Ravi has is that what he's saying is this sutram, which is a nice musical sutram, Ayaneya ina iya yaha, Parda kacha gham pratyayadina, Valmikiya, pratyaya iya has come, iya. What the sutram says is that if you have a pratyaya which is beginning with a pa, dha, kha, cha or gha, then respectively the pa becomes ayana, the dha becomes aya, the kha becomes ina, the cha becomes iya. So pa, dha, kha, cha, gham. So now we have this iya pratyaya, so this must be a cha. So Ravi is right. Ravi, Vruddhacha, Ravi. Vruddhacha. Vruddhacha.
Vruddha Pratipadika.
Correct. We have Valmiki, we have Vruddha, right? Correct?
Right. I don't remember the meaning of Vruddha Pratipadika though.
I'll come back. We'll come back. So Vruddha, right? So Vruddha. So in the chapter 1, Ravi, we'll find the definition of Vruddha. So Vruddhiryasya Acham. So one whose beginning one is Vruddhi. Vruddhiryasya Achama Acham Adi Tat Vruddham.
Yes,
So,
okay.
So that term, which beginning vowel is in Vruddhi state, then that entire term gets the term Vruddha. So Vruddha, so Valmiki is a Vruddha, gets Vruddha Sanya. Then Vruddhacha, Vruddha, very, very important sutram, Vruddhacha. Is that in this same Vruddhacha, no, what happened to that? Vruddhacha. It should be coming in the same adhikara of the Shesha Vruddhacha. Why not showing up, Ravi? Vruddhacha. Vruddhacha. Let's see.
It's 42114.
42114. Thank you. So 42114. So that also in the same. This is in the Sheshe Vruddhacha. You can use 42114 along with that sutram which I gave you before, which was what?
Ayaneyi Niyaha.
No, not that one, which is the Vruddhirasya Chamadi. What is that one? 42114 used. You'll also use.
It's 1173.
Very good, 1173. So 1173 and the 42114 will form. Anyway, won't go in all the steps now. But basically put the numbers here. So interesting forms here. So we get Val, Mi, Kiya, Kiya, Kiya. So we used Vruddhacha, 42, I think 114, right, Ravi? 114?
Yes,
then Vruddha Sanya 1173. And here also we use, of course, 712. Cha becomes Iya. And we also require again the one more time Yes Cheti Cha. One more time Yes Cheti Cha. We have Valmiki plus Iya, Valmiki. So this is not Akasami Dirgha. Yes Cheti Cha again one more time. So 64148. Okay, let's bring out, okay, sorry for the digression. Let's bring out our Adhikrita Anuvadakara. So Balramji, next step for you is, okay, in the glorious Ramayana of Valmiki, that's Valmikiya. The oldest epic, what is that?
Adi Kavya.
Adi Kavya. This is clearly, this is the Adi Kavya. So Adi means beginning, Adi Kavya. We have to in the beginning, Adi Kavya. Then Balakanda is here, in the Balakanda.
In the Balakanda.
And Prathama is, of course, first.
First one.
Sarga is the creation, Sruj.
Canto.
Canto, but Sruj is to create, the first kind of composition. This means chapter basically. But Sruj, Sarga is like anything which you release, to produce, to create. Sarga is also like literally production. So that's what it is, so Sarga. Okay, so it is Shri Ramachandra Arpanamastu. So we can, this has been done today. So we're doing for the last year or something. Now I hope you learned a lot. I know the grammar has been a little bit heavy for you, but we have to somehow one day, climb the Vyakaranagiri. So we won't forget this one. Keep on coming back to it. After Phalashruti we saw today. Patan Vijo Vagrishavattamiyat Syat Kshatriya Patittamiyat Manikjana Panya Palattamiyat Janascha Shudra Vimahattamiyat. Okay. Shri Ramachandra Arpanamastu. Now what we'll do now is that, in fact, we'll just put Balramji on the task over here. Sundar Kandam, we found a good Sankshipta Varnanam, so which is a description in short of each Kanda, each Sarga. Very nicely composed. And in fact, we also have a Gita Press translation. I found out that also you have done. The Gita Press English book, when you give the translation, they're using this one for the most part. So we can get a gist of Sundar Kandam, then maybe we can also look up some verses. But let's try to get the summary first. We'll try first, Balrami. Let's see what we can get now.
Okay.
So I'll read out for you one time. Sitamanveshtum Lankam Jigamishur Hanuman Mahendra Shikharad Utplutya Jalamadhyad Udgatya Swashikare Vishramam Arthayamanam Mainakam Karatala Samsparshanena Sammanya Devaihi Preshitam Nitchari Rupadharinim Surasam, I'm here, Surasam Mukham Vyadaya Gasitum Pratipalayantim Dhrita Sukshma Rupaha Tadudaram Pravishyapi Ahimsitvaiva Bahirniragachat. It's a long sentence, I'm sorry, long sentence. The difficulty is a long sentence. Let me do it. First of all, thank you, Radha, for typing this out. Very nice. No errors. A lot of help. Let me read one more time. Sitamanveshtum Lankam Jigamishur Hanuman Mahendra Shikharadututya Jalamadhyad Udgatya Swashikare Vishramam Marthayamanam Mainakam Karatala Samsparshanena Sammanya Devaihi Preshitam Nitchari Rupadharinim Surasam Mukham Vyadaya Yasitum Pratipalayantim Dhrita Sukshma Rupas Taddudaram Pravishyapi Ahimsitvaiva Bahirniragachat. Ravi, you want to do the Parichita for Balaram, making it easy for him?
Yes, Satish.
Okay.
Sitam Anveshtum Lankam Jigamishuhu Hanuman Mahendra Shikharat Utplutya Jalamadhyat
Good.
Udgatya Swashikare Vishramam Arthayamanam Mainakam Karatala Samsparshanena Sammanya Devaihi Preshitam Nitchari Rupadharinim
Compound.
Surasam Mukham Vyadaya Grasitum Pratipalayantim Dhruta Sukshma Rupaha Tadudaram Pravishya Api Ahimsitva
Very good. Ahimsitva
Eva
Bahihi
Bahis Niragachat.
Okay, now which is the thing then Ravi? Help out. Let's do some homework for him so he can make it easier for him.
Niragachat.
So Niragachat. Balaramji, what does it mean? Niragachat, what does it mean?
Must be gone or sent.
Nir means to kind of out. Agachat, Niragachat. In translation,
Came out.
He came out. Very good. Comes out. He came out. Comes out. Niragachat. So I think these are all. See, when you have this Sankshipta Varnanam, you're going to have a lot of these what's called as the Twan.
Utplutya.
Yeah, Utplutya. Then I think of Sammanya.
Agatya.
Yeah, so then Sammanya you have somewhere. Then Vyadaya is for the not Vyadaya.
Pravishyapi.
Ahimsitva. So having done this, then he came out. Okay, let's try now. Desirous of reaching.
Ishtum. So Anveshtum.
No. Try again. The dhatu gam is there.
Oh, Jigamish.
Now the trick here around is like pipasu. desirous of drinking. Jidnyasu, mumukshu, right? Titikshu,
Okay.
chikirshu loka Gita, chikirshu loka sangraham, desiring of doing chikirshu. So these are sananda prayogas, and which when they are formed, they take that pratyaya u over there to make an adjective. So pipa is a noun from dhatu pa. So I'll point out two things to you here. First thing is that note the abhyasa in jigamishuho. Jigamishuho. In conjunction with that, note the ending ukaraha, pratipadikam, jigamishuho. Like jidnyasu, comes in Gita. Jidnyasu piyogasya, shabda brahmati vartate, jidnyasu. So, and third thing is that note the ikara in the abhyasa. The ikara in the, that is the trademark of sananda prayoga. So the trademark, the special abhyasa karyam occurs in the sananda prayoga, and that is the sutram. Which sutram, Ravi?
Sana Shamsa Bhiksha Uhu.
Well, that's for the ukara. That's for the ukara. So what Ravi is giving is ukara sutram, which is I think 32168. So this dhatu sananta, when it is formed, you get the pratyaya uhu. Also the ashams and like bhikshuhu, ashamsu and jidnyasuhu, pipasuhu, chikirshuhu, jigamishuhu, and all these, mumukshuhu. So now what about the ikara, Ravi?
Ikara.
Chikirshuhu, because they take it like pipasuhu. Let's say jidnyasu, dhatu is nya, become jidnyasuhu. So that should not happen. Normally there should be no ikara coming in the abhyasa. And that's for Sutram for Ravi today for you, sanyataha.
Sanyataha, okay. Yeah,
I think it is 7479, I'm sorry, sanyataha. So Balaramji, when you see this ikara in the abhyasa, there are three items notice. You have noticed three items here, three items. One is the abhyasa itself, first of all. Second, because dhatu gam, I think you know. Then the in abhyasa, the ka varga becomes cha varga. That's a little bit hard for you maybe. The ga became ja. Then most important is ikara. Immediately you can tell. And then you see the sakara already is here because the sa became of course murdanya sha. But otherwise it is and the pratyaya uhu. So these are lot of signals are here to figure out that this is the sananda prayoga. Jigamishuhu and then gantum ichuhu, jigamishuhu. One who wants to go. Okay, you know what, let's not spend too much on Vyakaranam because otherwise, I think people get bored and all this. So let me just put these two numbers here. Because to just give you one line is that one of the most complicated things for the sun prayoga. By the way, in the Wednesday class, we've done the sun in great detail. We've done the sananda prayoga has been done and recorded last few weeks, last few months. So if anybody wants to, look at the sananda prayoga, you can listen to the recording of the Wednesday class last month or month and a half, 2 months. And one of the most difficult things here is the first thing is to determine idagamaha. There are a number of rules, or, complicated rules for idagamaha. For the dhatu gam, anyone, Ravi, any chance, Ravi?
So idagama?
Yes, because gum is really anit.
Oh yeah, gamerit parasmai padeshu.
Very good. That's pretty quick. I'm impressed, Ravi. Very good. So which one number is that? 7 to 70 maybe? No. 60. Gamerit parasmai padeshu. Gamerit parasmai padeshu. Pratyaya, which is sakaradi, and dhatu gam parasmai padam takes the idagamaha. Gamerit parasmai padeshu. What number is that, Ravi? Gamerit parasmai 60? No, 58. Oh. 58. So this was because one more thing is troubling here is dhatu gam really should not take idagamaha. Like gataha, gatihi, gatva. We have a lot of forms, agataha. So we have a number of forms, idagama is not there. But this sutram says that parasmai padeshu, in parasmai padam, when we have the pratyaya which sakaradi follows, sakaradi pratyaya follows, then of course dhatu gam is normally prasapadi dhatu. Becomes Atmanapadi when some upasargas come similar happens. So as a default, dhatu gam is parasapadi. So that's not a problem for us. It only becomes Atmanapadi in certain circumstances. So, but anyway, 7 to 58 is idagamaha. So that's the most complicated thing of this one. Let's see. Maybe should I put in this? Okay. Let's put couple of lists. So jigamishu. We won't go through all the steps. of the abhyasa and all that. So jigamishuhu, 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 jigamishuhu. So let me put the idagamaha 7 to 58. Of course, sanant prasan pratya. What sutram, Ravi?
Sanyoho. Oh, yeah. That's okay.
Saman krituka dichchayam va. When you desire something for yourself, not for somebody else. Shakir Shu, he wants to do something himself. He's not wishing somebody else to do something. Jigamishuhu means Hanuman wants to go himself, not somebody else. So dhatoha karmanaha saman krituka dichchayam va. So you get this one, and then as we said, let's put this number here, the ending ukaraha, and also the special ikar and abhyasaha. How about one more number I'll put down here is the abhyasa only takes place in this language only in a few circumstances. Only in a few circumstances. This one should come last, by the way. This should come last. After dhatu is formed, then we can put this one, the ending ukaraha. So put this one last over here, and I'll put the abhyasakara, sanyangoho, right, Ravi? Sanyangoho, sanyangoho, sanyangoho. Okay, I put some basic rules here, not everything. It'll take too much time in the class. So 619 is the abhyasa, sanyangoho. Okay, let's come back to our document. So that one is that the desirous of reaching jigamishuho.
Okay.
What is Lanka?
Lankam.
Lankam. In order to discover.
This I think is Anveshtum.
Anveshtum. What's the dhatu here?
Vesh.
It's anu plus ishtum. Anu plus eshtum. Sorry. Anu plus eshtum. Remove the anu out first. Anu plus some dhatu gives meaning to search. Which dhatu?
Okay.
What's the dhatu here?
For ishtum?
Eshtum. Remove the pratyaya tumun. So tum is gone. So now you have only esh left behind. Esh. What is the dhatu here, Ravi?
Is it ishu ichchayam?
I think ishu ichchayam only will work. Anvich. Anu-ish is ishu desire, to desire. Anvish is to desire, after means to search. Anveshanam.
I got distracted by this desirous and ishtum.
What's that? Desire of reaching, yes.
Yeah, so I got distracted by that ishtum.
That desire for sananta. That's from 317. That pratyaya sun has the desiring in it. Yeah, that'd be good. That's a valid point. I see your point. As if you're just making pure guesses, and it's a troubling point. Yeah, correct, because you can correct anvish. Anvish is to seek, to search for, look out, to get. Anveshtum. Anveshtum is anveshtum lankam jigamishuho. Here also now the pratyaya tumun is used kriyayam kriyarthayam. So this will come in I think 3:3:10. Is tumul nulau kriyayam kriyarthayam is saptami. So when you're doing one action for the sake of another action, here what do we have? Anveshtum jigamishuhu. So he went to search. There are two actions here. So he is going in order to search. So when this action of going is there, which is being done for the sake of this action of searching, then this dhatu ish, so that the sake of which another action is being done. So that action will take, not the another action, but this main action, which is pratyatuman. One more time. Like for example, bhuktum vrajati. He goes to eat something. No, in order to eat, he goes. So patitum vasati. In order to study, he stays. So here same thing. Anveshtum jigamishuho. So he was going. This action of going is a kriyartha kriya. Kriyartha kriya, which is an action whose purpose is another action. When such an action is there, then the other action, the sake of which this one is done, pratyatuman. Of course, then you do the sandhi rules here. You get the guna. By pugant lagupatasya become ish becomes esh, and of course chunashtuhu, and so become anveshtumu. Okay. Now Sita is of course what? Sita is Sita, right? Straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay. Hanuman is
Hanuman.
Hanuman takes a leap
Utplutya.
Very good. Utplutya, very good. Utplu comes in Gita many places. Jnana plavenaiva. Plavena. Plava is a boat. Plu is to jump, to swim, to cross. It has to kind of it has variety of meanings. Like plavangama is a monkey. Plavangamaha, one who goes by jumping. Then in Gita, Yavanartha Udapane Sarvata Samplutodake, flooding. Samplutodake, second chapter of Gita. So Yavanartha Udapane Sarvata Samplutodake, Taman Sarveshu Vedeshu, Brahmanas Vijanata, Samplutodake. So when this water is flooded on all sides, when the water is flooded on all sides, flooded on all sides, flood. Okay, Utplutya. Again, Satyak, Twa is there. Twa became Lyap. Then it's many times now. Is the compound Utplutya, having jumped. What tuk agama Ravi? Tuk agama Ravi.
Hrasvasya Pitikriti tuk.
Very good. Hrasvasya Pitikriti tuk. What happened? The Twa became Lyap. Utplu ya. But then because that Lyap was the pratyaya, which is the Pit pratyaya, so Krut pratyaya, and then the Rasva vowel probably get the tuk agamaha. Tuk agamaha. So becomes so Utplutya. The takara in Utplutya is a tuk agamaha by 6171. Rasvasyapitikati tuk. Rasvasyapitikati tuk. Rasvasyapitikati tuk. We had a student in our class, Ravi. His name was the Sutram. We gave him this name. Because anytime we asked him, he gave the answer to the Sutram only. Rasvasyapitikati tuk. That became his name. So he was happy with that one Sutram. So Utplutya, Rasvasyapitikati tuk. Ut of Upasvara. We saw it in Pradaya. We saw it. We saw in the first half of the class. We saw this one. Ut Pradaya Ud. So this is also an Amvyam.
Uttishta.
Ut Plutya. So I'm just going to put 61. So Tuk Agamaha 6171. Tuk Agamaha. Okay. Now. Yes, the reason this sutram is very easy to remember is very easy. Next sutram is Samhitayam. So this is right before Samhitayam starts. This one, come before that. Okay, let's see what the next part is now. So we got that part. Having jumped, takes a leap. Okay, from a peak.
Shikarat.
Of Mount Mahendra.
This Mahendra.
Mahendra Shikarat. It's a compound. It's Shashita Purusha, straightforward compound. Mahendra Shikarat, Mahendrasya Shikarat, Mahendra Parvatasya Shikarat. And honoring.
Vishramam.
No. Sammanya.
Oh.
Samman is honor, Sammanaha.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
An is to think Manayati. So, Manayati with the niche in the midst to honor. The same kind of form. Sammanya, again the same pratyaya. Twa became Lyap. Nishlopa Ravi, Nishlopa by? So,
Neraniti.
Neraniti, very good. So when the niche pratyaya is followed by a pratyaya which is sarasanya of ardhadhatukam with no idagamaha, niche takes lo. Neraniti, nehe aniti. Anidada ardhadhatuke pare ne lopasyat. There is a pratyaya which has the sanya of ardhadhatukam, which this one does have. Because Twa kim, Lap kim take of Twa. Twa is Ardhadhatukam Sheshaha. So then I won't put all the numbers, put only one number. Now what happened, Balamji, here? The thing what confused you here, Balamji, is that there came a lot of words in between. That was the problem. There came a lot of words.
Actually, I could have guessed it because Karatalam came. So after Karatalam is Sammanya. So if I had been a bit more patient and read through the next line, I could have got it.
You could have got it. I kind of rushed you a little bit rushed you in there. The Sammanya Niraniti, Nishlopaha, unity. Okay. So yes, because that one Sammanya. What is happening here is that there are a lot of things which are the Sammanya and honoring. Okay, let's continue. With the touch of his hand. You got that one, right?
Karatala Samsparshanena.
Just to be should be palm, really palm. Hand is Kara, but Karatala is like the palm of your hand. So it should be office. But anyway, it doesn't have it, so it's okay. This translation is from a different book, okay? Let me confess one thing. This Gita translation is from a different book. But I think they followed this one from a different book. So I kind of made some changes here. So really sthala can be removed maybe now. So this one is not in the same book. So some of the things might a little bit not exactly corresponding. Okay. So touch of this to be palm really, or remove tala from here. Anyway.
And sparsham is actually touch, right? So why does some come in front?
Yeah, some it doesn't. Anyway, let's see. Some sprish. Maybe like good touch. Maybe it doesn't. It may some may not add. So may not add to me. Let's see some sparshanam. Let's see some sparsha. If I can find the meaning very quickly. Because if you just had if you had sparshanena, same meaning I think. Won't have made much of a difference in this case. Some sprish. I'm sorry. Sprish. Some sprish. Dhatu is sprish. Some sprish. Oh, it is okay. So let's see what aptis is. Aptis is to touch, sprinkle water. No, we don't have that. To bring in contact with, no. To rinse your mouth. Okay, no. Same meaning. Some sprish is same. Some sparshanena. Mount Mainaka.
That is Mainakam.
Mainakam. Which rose?
So it's Udgatya.
Very good. Which literally having risen. Which rose? Udgatya. From the bottom.
Jalamadhyat, but that would be middle of the sea, right?
Middle, yeah. This translation of a different book. I'm sorry. This is not from the same book. So this is His bottom is not this. Jalamadhya, but Madhya he was from the story. He was in the bottom. Yeah, literally means it's from the middle. Yes, correct. From the midst, it should be translation. But the story is such that he was the bottom. So this story is a strange story. When Indra came to cut the wings of of all these mountains, I think he spared Mainaka. I think so. Mainaka came, and the Sagara gave him protection. So he sank in there, and hid from Indra. Some story like that is there. Okay, so from the bottom of the sea to provide rest.
Is it Arthayamanam?
Arthayamanam means requesting. Artha, like prarthana. Arthaya. Arthaya means to request, to beg, to kind of solicit. So means requesting. So Vishramam Arthayamanam Mainakam.
Okay.
What happened was that, see, the Sammanya came a little bit later because the object of Sammanya is Mainakam. Now Mainakam itself is an adjective Arthayamanam. Arthayamanam has an object Vishramam. And then it has another clause, Jalamadhyad Udgatya. And then the Vishramam has another thing, Swashikare. So this whole train was stuck. So if you just had Mainakam, you would have guessed it very fast, right? Mainakam Sammanya. But this Mainakam had this another little bit of a Titiya coming in here, Krita Sparshanena, then Arthayamanam Mainakam, then Kam Arthayamanam, Vishramam Arthayamanam, then Swashikare Vishramam Arthayamanam, then Jalamadhyad Udgatya, so a lot of clauses came in between. But anyway,
and also in Arthayamanam, that Ya, since that Ya came, I thought it was two forms, that is to provide.
No, that's Tuman. So that became Aya, like Gamanaya.
Okay.
Vishramaya for the sake of that. That will be Chatuthi Bhakti. That will be like, different.
Okay.
This actually is an Aya over here, not Aya. Yeah. This is Aya. I remember the Aya I told you is when you have the Nish Pratyaya. Become like, Mohayati, Gamayati, Brahmayati, it's Aya. Aya comes when the Nish takes Guna becomes A. Then the Shap comes there, becomes Echayavaya becomes Aya. So we won't go into all detail, we're running out of time now. This Dhatu Arth in the 10th Gana. So Arthayati means because the Nich comes in and takes Shap. Arthayamanam, requesting. Mainakam, who was requesting rest on the top. Okay, go next one. To provide me requesting, rest is Vishramam. So on it speak.
It's coming again. Shikara. Yeah, Swashikare.
Swashikare. On it speak. Swa is his own.
Its own.
Its own Shik. To Hanuman. That's probably understood. This is fully understood. I don't see. Hanumantam is not there. It's understood. Vishramam. So providing rest to Hanuman is to take Vishramam. So rest to Hanuman, Vishramam. And this is no other way. So this is maybe in brackets. No encounters.
Mm.
No, this is not there, right?
Yeah, encounters. I don't
Leave it question mark for time being. Then Surasa is
Surasam.
Surasam. Sent.
Preshitam.
Preshitam. Dhatu pra plus ish. Look at that one. You're going to find. So we have today unwish. Unwish is to search. Pra ish is to send. Preshitam. So preshayati. Well, what is happening here? What is happening here? What is happening here, Rafi? Preshitam.
Is preshit the pratipadikam? Or preshita?
Preshita is fine, but is there a niche in there? Why the idagama come? Because just compare the two, Ravi. Because here we have like here formed ishtam, right? Ishta, right? Here we have anveshtum, no idagama. But here comes the idagama. So preshayati. So is this the ish in the causative? I think it might be, because how will idagama come otherwise? Preshayati. In the causative to send forth, yeah. Praishishat. It becomes so fortunately dhatu ish take, Ravi. Make it eshi is to send forth. Right? And then make it a shita nishtam seti. So preshitam. The question for you, Ravi, is that if I make it pra plus a shita, then why not Ruddhi Rechi then?
Because of et yedhat yutsu.
The other way around. We don't have those over here. Do we have those? Eti.
Yeah, Ruddhi is mandated only for those.
But which is the sutram which we stop Ruddhi first? Tell me that.
Oh, that is is it Eng of Padantarati?
No, Engi Pararupam.
Engi Pararupam, yes.
Engi Pararupam. That's the sutram for Ravi today. Because Ruddhi Rechi, right? Ruddhi Rechi is coming there. Ruddhi Rechi. But then Engi Pararupam. If we have a Eng following, and which then the Parupam Ekadesha. So we had the Dhatu Eshi. Make it a causative to send. Pra plus the causative send is to, pra issue to desire. But pra plus ish in the causative means to send. You get pra eshitaho. If you have Ruddhi Rechi, you have come. You have Ruddhi Rechi. But Engi Pararupam, which if you have the Eng following for Dhatu, if the Dhatu beginning with an Eng is following, and Upasarga is preceding that, then in the Pura Parayoho, there will be the Ekadesha Pararupam. Become not Praishita, but only Preshita. So Preshitam, then so sent. How about by the gods? Well, that's an easy one, right?
Devaihi.
Devaihi. So in the form of an ogress.
Nitchari Rupadharini.
Nitchari Rupadharini. Probably become Nitchari. One who roams around at night. Nitchari Rupadharini. Adjective to Surasam. Dharinim. Okay. And then Rupadharini, who was waiting. Any guesses?
Drita Sukshma, maybe.
Pratipalayanti.
Oh, I see.
Pratipalayanti. So Prati plus Pal. Prati plus Pal. Palayati means to protect, right? So Palayati. But Pratipalayati means to wait. Even though Palayati is protect. Palayati, Palayamam. But Pratipal is to protect. Sorry. Is to wait. Pratipalayanti. Pratipalayanti means waiting. If I remember the last class we talked about this Nummagamaha, all the rules. Remember Ravi last class? All the Nummagama rules we talked about. Achinadyoho Num. Achinadyoho. Here's the application for that. In the last class we spent a lot of time on these 4 rules. We talk about num agamaha. First of all, num nishedha, nabhyastha chatuho, vanapumsakasya, achidadyo num, then shapshano nityam. This one, Ravi, right? Ravi, this one here, Ravi. Shapshano nityam, because we have this, which is the nij is being used. And again, notice the form aya. Aya nich is in here, and then this num agama comes nityam. The present participle pratya. Shatru is the present participle form. So pratipalayantim, one who was waiting. Pratipalayantim. So waiting, and the time is up. Okay, let's try to finish the sentence from your form. Waiting for Hanuman, I think is understood. So with her mouth open.
Mukham vyadhaya.
So which having expanded her mouth. Comes in Purusuktam. Purusuktam, right? Ashvino Vyatam. Ashvino Vyatam.
Ashvino Vyatam.
Vyada. So Vyada is to expand. Expand. So Vyadaya. Having expanded, So having expanded her mouth, then Gasitum Vyadaya. Gasitum means this to
devour
him. Enters her belly. Her, I think it is the having entered, which is this one.
Duduram pravishya.
Yeah, pravishya, tadudaram. Her belly.
Yeah.
Tasya udam, tadudaram. Having entered her belly, tadudaram pravishya api. I think api is not here. But even having entered her belly, assuming a minute form.
Drita sukshma rupam. Rupasta.
Rupaha, Hanuman. Drita sukshma rupa. Sukshma rupa is Karmadhara compound, minute form. So Karmadhara compound is one who has assumed Dhritam. So Dhritam, sukshma rupam, yena saha. First make sukshma rupam as a Karmadhara. Sukshmancha, adaha rupancha, sukshma rupam. Then Dhritam, sukshma rupam, yena saha. One who assumed a minute form. But these are very common, very useful compounds in speaking. Like for example, this man he has lost all hope. So you can say nashta ashaha. So without you can make these very compact bahuvris to express these. When you say I'm very happy. Jata harshoham, jata harshaha. I'm one in whom joy has been born. So you say jata harshaha. So you can say this man is blind. Gata chakshu. He's one whose eyes have gone. You can make very nice compounds quickly of this bahuvri compounds. So so you can say he is one who's kind of whose mind is wandering. So bhranta chittaha. So his mind. So bhrantam chittam yasya saha. So these are very, very powerful compounds you can use in your language all the time to make very nice usages, which don't translate to English that way. So these usages you learn from the language, not from English. From English you will not get the usages. So appreciate these and use these. Use these when you can. They're very, very, very useful. Anyway, time is up today. So assuming a minute form, so this is sukshma rupaha. This is, you can say, for example, he is one whose delusion has gone away. Gata moha. So gata moha yam. Okay, very nicely you say so quickly you can say it. Right? Okay, she is one whose son has died. Mutaputra. So one whose son has died. I mean, of course, you should take some practice with these. But okay, and comes out.
Bahir nir agachat.
Niragachat. In fact, it's like a little bit double. Bahir also is out. Nir also is exit kind of coming out. So little bit double is there. But anyway, Bahir is out. Niragachat.
Is there an extra ra there or is it niragachat?
Niragachat.
So there is an extra ra there, right?
No. It's
oh,
Bahir.
It's Bahir nir. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Niragachat. Niragachat.
Yeah, sorry.
Adagama agachat. Niragachat comes out without killing her.
Ahimsitva.
Ahimsitva. Okay, so this we'll try to practice this. We're getting a lot of forms. So I was thinking we can do the Sundar Kandam like this, do the Sankshipt Sundar Kandam, get some usages, not too difficult usages, fairly simple, but expand, get the, Because I said, in our temple here, we did the entire Sundarakandam in full detail for 10 years. For 10 years. From I think 1998 to I think, no, maybe 1997 it was, to 2007. So we did the whole Sundarakandam with every shloka in detail. So I don't want to lose touch with that also. So we can do the Sankshipta Sundarakandam and then maybe we can look at some more details. So otherwise if we take Sundarakandam, it'll take us 20 years to do it at this pace. So let's take the Sankshiptam and then we will try to, look. But also after this one, we can also do Sankshipta Ramayanam, I mean the Bhagavata Purana, Ravi. Because in the Bhagavata Puranam also, Sridhara Swami at the beginning of each Adhyaya, I know time is up, but just quick idea. At the beginning of each Adhyaya, Sridhara Swami gives a Sankshipta Varnanam in a few shlokas. So you can reduce the entire Bhagavata Puranam to Gita size. In the words of Sridhara Swami. By just taking his verses. So maybe after this one, this will take us at least a year to do anyway. We can do that one also maybe. So that will give the entire Bhagavata Katha in the words of Sridhara Swami, in shloka form, in about less than 1,000 verses. So that will take us a while, but it'll be also a good experience. It'll be seva for Sridhara Swami and also for the Bhagavad Puranam. Okay, let's stop with this. So, Ramo Raja Manisada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Aviyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittare Sada Bhotame Bhora Mama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Sri Rama Nama Varanana Kundameti. Thank you, Balamji. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Radha, for the preparation.
Thank you, Ji.
Again, today is March 26th. The next class will be on second week in April. It is April 9th. Saturday, April the 9th. This is so the Ramayana Bhagaha, Uttara Bhagaha. Ravi, okay, Ravi?